Hello guys, welcome back to me Chanel. In this video, we'll be fixing up another American Girl doll that I received in a previous unboxing. So this time we'll be fixing up Rebecca Rubin. So she is one of the historical characters from American Girl. I already have Rebecca in my collection. So I decided that I'm not going to, keep this Rebecca as a Rebecca. So I'm going to either customize her in the future or maybe I'm just going to leave her as is. But she's going to be a modern character. She's not going to be Rebecca. However, this doll is a bit special. There is something to her that, might deter another collector from having her in their collection. The reason I'm saying this is because this Rebecca was severely damaged. I think she was mauled, bitten by an animal, probably a dog or maybe something else, maybe a raccoon or what. Her torso is very well, it's not very torn up to the point that all her stuffing is breaking loose or it's already unraveling. Well, you'll see in a minute what I'm talking about, but yeah, so definitely she is damaged, and originally I thought that that's all there is to it, that her torso is the only damaged part of her, but as it turns out, so one of her hands was chewed by a dog or whatever animal it was. So yeah, that's unfortunate. However, I am not really that concerned about it. I really like this small flaws. I guess it's kind of weird to say this, but I really enjoy thinking that there is a backstory, there is a history about the doll. It gives them personality. There's a history, and I think I'm even going to include that in her backstory, what happened to her body. Alright, so here's Miss Rebecca Rubin, the doll that I received in my previous unboxing. So she's very pretty. I'm just happy that her face doesn't have any marks. So she doesn't have any ink stains. But yeah, you can see here the extent of the damage on her torso and back. So as I said earlier, a dog must have gotten into her. It mauled her, it bit her body, and it's so sad. So if you have pets, make sure that they don't have access to your dolls, because dolls and pets really do not mix. So as you can see here, her right hand was also bit and chewed on. I'm just happy that it did not come up, because I do have a doll that was also chewed by an animal, and that one had her hand or fingers completely chewed up. So very unfortunate. But I was able to make it work. She's still in my collection, and I just disguised it so that it won't be obvious that she doesn't have any fingers on her hand. But anyway, so I'm going to start by removing the stuffing from Rebecca's body. And then once I tighten up her limbs, because her limbs are very loose, I'm going to start cleaning up her vinyl body, and then I'm going to fix her hair. So that's what my game plan for this. Okay, so let's start with removing the neck strings from her body so I can remove her head, so I can get into her stuffing and remove it, and then I'll tighten up her limbs using hair ties. So while I'm doing this, I'm just going to discuss something that I recently come across in Instagram. So if you follow Patricia Sears 1958, she has an Etsy shop where she sells American Girl doll clothes that she sews herself. So it's very sad because according to her, she was reached out to by Etsy because Mattel complained that she's infringing on their intellectual property. Now, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know very much about these things, but as it turns out, she did provide some screenshots of their conversation. According to Mattel, she's infringing on their intellectual property by selling clothes. So basically, they're not allowing her to use her own American Girl dolls to sell the doll clothes, which is very ironic because, of course, these are her dolls. She bought these dolls. I'm not sure if she bought them brand new or secondhand, but it doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, she has those dolls. She bought them. They're her possession. And I really don't understand why Mattel is making this ruckus. So why are they, doing so much, doing the most, and stopping someone from earning an honest living. It's not like she's, competing so much that they're losing sales. I mean, she's just a small company. She's an Etsy shop. So it's not like, thousands of people are buying from her shop, and then this is, a direct competition with Mattel. I don't know what their problem is, and it's so sad. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and write to Mattel to say my disgust and how unhappy I am about this, because I think every support, even though it's just a small support, you're just one person writing. If we're going to do it all, then I think Mattel will be aware that we are not happy with the way they're doing things. Okay, so I've already removed the stuffing from my American Girl doll, this Rebecca Rubin doll, and now I'm going to tighten up the limbs using hair ties. So there are lots of videos already on YouTube going into detail on how to tighten doll limbs. But to just to give a brief overview, all I'm doing here is I'm stretching out the cord, and then um, at the gap, I'm just tightening it. I'm just putting in hair ties to stretch it out to make it tight again. So I'm going to do this on both legs and then the arms so that they won't be floppy, and this is going to help make sure that their limbs are very tight. So the reason they loosen up is because if you put your doll in like a sitting position, this would make the limb or the cord that tightens up their limbs to be loose. So yeah, so you just have to take that into consideration. It will be better to have the doll stand up, so this will help not make their limbs go loose over time. But going back to the topic of Patricia's years, I do hope that you will also support by reaching out to American Girl, to Mattel, and then just write them a letter, send them an email, telling them that we do not stand for this kind of behavior, and that we support Patricia in her, you know, making use of her dolls, because what she's doing right now is she's raising the faces of the dolls, and it looks kind of creepy, to be quite honest, the way she's doing it, because it's like a faceless doll. I know some people already find dolls creepy, and what more if they see these pictures, because they erase the face. I think she's doing this so that Mattel couldn't claim that she's using the likeness of their dolls in her business, which again I find it very ridiculous. But yeah, so hopefully we'll be able to do something about this, because if this goes on, who knows, maybe they won't allow us to, post pictures of our dolls on Instagram or on TikTok or whatever. Or how about those making stop motion videos? I'm not sure if American Girl also has an issue with them. So yeah, it's an ongoing problem. So what you can also do is whenever you post something on social media, you can use the hashtag faceless but not voiceless. So I think Patricia is the one who first started using that hashtag. Okay, so what I'm doing here right now is I'm putting back all the stuffing that I removed earlier so I can tighten up the limbs. So I've already tightened up her arms and her legs so that she can stand on her own 2 feet, so that it won't be floppy. Okay, and then once I'm finished putting back all the stuffing, then I'm going to reattach her head, and then I'm going to work on cleaning the body, and of course um, fixing the hair, and then her vinyl face. Okay, so here's the body. I was just a bit concerned that this might make it worse, that the stuffing might come out of the holes in her body, but it's staying put. I'm happy about that, so I'm going to figure out a more permanent and better way of ensuring that the stuffing will not come out. I already have a doll like this, and what I did is I put a very tight bathing suit on her body, so that way it can help support the holes so that the stuffing will not come out. So now I'm cleaning up her body, her vinyl body, using a magic eraser. I dampen it with water. So I'm not doing anything special here. As I've already mentioned in some of my videos, it's going to be okay if you rub briskly on her arms and legs, since you will not be removing any paint there, face paint. However, once you're already at her head, if you're going to clean up her face, make sure to avoid rubbing too hard on her cheeks, because you might remove her cheek color, and of course on her eyebrows, because you might erase the eyebrows, unless you really want to erase them because you want to draw on new ones. But for now, I'm not going to be doing any customization on here. I'm not going to give her new face paint or lip color or even new eyebrows. I'm just going to leave her as is. So yeah, so I find out that she is not that dirty, although she maybe just a little dusty. Alright, so I've finished cleaning up her body. Now I'm going to concentrate on her face. So happy again to say that there's nothing really wrong with her face, that she doesn't have any ink marks and no scratches that I can see. So I'm going to clean up her face first using, again, a magic eraser that was dampened with water. Okay, while I'm cleaning up her face, let me discuss something else that I want to, bring up. So I've already been watching several unboxing of Summer Makini, the Girl of the Year for 2025. I think she's very pretty. I think definitely I love that they're using the Dananea face mold, because for a very long time they've only been using the Josefina, the classic mold, of course. And I'm happy that they're switching things up and then they're using the Dananea face mold. However, while I do find her cute and pretty, I'm just a bit, concerned that they're maybe they could have been more adventurous with her hair, because I think she looks too much like Isabel Palmer when it comes to hair. I think they're using the very same wig, to be quite honest. And while that's not exactly a bad thing, I don't think it's a good thing either, because there are a lot of people who are quite unhappy with Isabel, bit calling her the most basic of dolls. While I do find Isabel quite pretty, I do understand where they're coming from, because she's not really that exciting. Although I do love ballet, I love dance, and I love her aesthetic. Still, I think they're trying to find, a more eclectic looking doll, or maybe something that hasn't been done or seen before. However, I do understand where Mattel is coming from, because I think Mattel tested the waters last year when they released the limited edition holiday doll, the one that looks like Daenerys Targaryen with platinum blonde hair. I don't think she sold very well. So I think they realized that their market is still children. Okay. Sad that as it may be for adult collectors, but we're not the target buyers of American Girl. Yeah, we were happy with how eclectic, unique the limited edition holiday doll looked. However, again, there are more children than adult collectors. So right now, what they made sure that they release dolls that which will appeal to children. So as you can see, Summer really has a very colorful collection. She has like a rainbow inspired outfit. Her hair is a bit colorful and all, and yeah, so basically she's really really colorful, so intended for a child, not really another adult. If I could, definitely I would want to have Summer in my collection. However, I will not be able to afford her. Sad, but yeah, that's the way it is. But if I were to compare her with the previous Girl of the Year, Lila, I would prefer really Summer, because Lila I was really really underwhelmed with. Although don't get me wrong, if I am ever able to get Lila, I would definitely do so because I just want to complete all the Girl of the Years. However, if I could choose between her and Summer, I'll choose Summer because just because of the face mold. Lila is a Josefina mold. And while I don't have like a ton of Josefina molds in my collection, I do have more than five. And I really have a lot of classic molds, so I'm trying to cut back on collecting classic molds. And I think I only have one Nanea face mold. So definitely I'd love to have another Nanea doll, or at least a Nanea face mold doll in my collection so that, I can have more variety. Alright, so, and also I noticed that they changed the box. I kind of missed the old version of the box where you can see the doll inside the window. However, they removed that, and then you can see like a printed version or a printed picture of Summer at the um, cover of the box. And I don't think this is a good idea because if I was a customer and I was buying inside the shop, then I won't be able to easily see the doll inside. And as a collector, you'll need to make sure that you are not getting, a defective doll. Even though I loved, rehabbing defective dolls or dolls with flaws, it's going to be different if it's going to be brand new. You tend to be more lax when the doll is secondhand because, again, you're not the first owner. Things will happen. You need to, be more accepting if the doll is not perfect. However, if it's brand new, you're the first owner, then definitely there is no reason why you should get a defective doll or a doll with eyes that are not aligned. You would want a brand new doll to be nothing less than perfect. But anyway, here's Rebecca all cleaned up. I reattach her head to her body. I think she looks really good now. And her hair is tangle free and very soft. I wasn't sure what kind of hairstyle I was going to give her, and I decided on, braiding it and then putting it in the back like a chignon, or I think this is a coronet, but yeah. So I'm going to show you the back of her head so that you will see what kind of hairstyle I gave her later. So she's wearing one of the dresses that my friend sewed for me. So there is a backstory again to this dress, which I'm going to reveal in a future video. So here's the back of her head. So what I did is I interconnected the two braid, pinned it in so that it goes to the back of her head. I named her Meldonique after one of my favorite manga characters. So there you have it. So here's Rebecca Rubin, now Meldonique. I'm going to be posting more of the transformation of my dolls. Take care and bye-bye.